Alright, good morning guys. Today is Sunday, December 18th, 2016, and I've got some cold starts of the vehicles for you guys today. It is frigid cold out here. It is like 5 degrees, no joke, here in the Chicagoland area, and here in Chicagoland. And we got, excuse me, clearing my throat, we got like 4 or 5 inches of snow last night, no joke. We got a lot of snow last night, so we're going to see how well these guys do starting up. We're going to be starting up the 1997 Lincoln Mark VIII and the 2002 Ford F-150. The Mercedes 300E is still out of commission. My dad is still in the process of putting the engine back together after replacing the head gasket on it. This thing needed a full head gasket replacement, so my dad's still working very hard to put the engine back together. Then the 2002 F-250, too much of a story to get into today, but I'll do updates on these vehicles at some point. But anyway, the only 2 vehicles that will start are the F-150 and the Lincoln Mark VIII. So I'm going to see what I can do here. Anyway, both of these vehicles have to be pulled out onto the street so I can bring the tractor up here and start to plow the driveway. And get the snowblower fired up and start to do that, since I have no space right now. So I cleared a little path for the car to get out. So I'm going to start with the Lincoln Mark VIII. We'll let that warm up, and then I'll go ahead and start the F-150. This thing is covered in snow. It's not covered. It's not as covered as it could be because we took this thing out to get pizza last night, and the snow was just starting to come down, and I was having a hard time controlling this thing. We were like going like 20 miles per hour all the way there. So tell you, Chicagoland winters are not that fun. I feel so bad for this car too, because it's such a beautiful car that's sitting outside in the snow when it should be stored inside, with how fast these things are getting like junked every day, you know. And the bottom of this thing is starting to like rust out, you know. Now, as to be expected, our door is frozen here, so I'm gonna have to unfreeze the door before we get inside. So give me a second or two. Okay. I'm not going to close that all the way just in case it'll freeze back shut. Just got the door open, dumped some hot water on it. Yeah, it is freezing cold in this thing. 5 degrees. Time for the cold start. Let's see how this thing does. Oh, yeah. Sweet. There goes the compressor for the air ride, which tends to, when it gets this cold outside, the airbags tend to leak a little bit, especially over on this side. So the front of the car tends to go down when it gets cold out. So just so you guys do know, the check engine light is caused by a misfiring coil, I'm pretty sure. And ever since my dad tore this whole dash apart and to fix the air conditioning blend door thing and put this whole thing back together, we've been getting that flashing airbag light. So, however, we did just change the oil on it, so for once there's no oil change required message on there. But the driver's door is in fact open, and we do have low washer fluid, I suppose, so that's going to have to be fixed. I guess I'll close this. I've got the strength to push it back open. So, reset. Yeah, this thing isn't getting the fuel mileage it should be either. That's I was like driving this thing last night, as I was saying. That's about the mileage it was saying when I was taking it out. So, yeah. Anyway, before I even try to move this thing out, I'm gonna get all the snow off of it. But before that, let's go ahead and start the F-150, shall we? Yeah, I'm going to close it. I'll be able to get it back open. There's that. Let's go get the key for the truck and do that. Yeah, we're not going to be starting that, are we? Alright, it's a big mess in this garage. Let's pull one of these keys and go start this thing up. As you guys can see, my dad is currently using the bed for storage. Since my dad's work decided to take his van from him, He's been using this thing as his full-time work truck, so it's not time for it to go to me yet, you know, until my dad can find a better substitute. He has this whole thing, they're just cluttered. There's a lot of clutter in this thing, so. All right, here we go, 5-degree cold start of the F-150. Let's turn this off. Here we go. There we go. Oh yeah. You guys can see how, you guys can see the effect the cold is having on this Alpine stereo. The screen on it is changing super slowly. And that's what happens to LCDs when they get cold. Let's try doing this. You guys can see how the thing is like fading, you know? That's supposed to like change instantly. You guys can see how the display is kind of like fading, you know? It's not supposed to do that, but that's what the cold will do to these LCD screens. So, anyway, it's running a little bit rough, but it'll get warmed up here in a few minutes. But now it's time to clear a path for both of these things so I can pull them out on the street. And then we'll get the tractor up here, fire up the snowblower. I'll do 2 different videos on firing up or maybe one single video on starting up the snowblower and the tractor. So there you guys go. There were cold starts of both the F-150 that got on my face, the Ford F-150, and the Lincoln Mark VIII. Got some steam coming out of there. Got some steam coming out of there. Actually, not much. Well, happy Sunday, guys. There you go. Thanks for watching.